Good afternoon, Dr. Dunbar, my fellow classmates. My name is Rhonda Moreland, and this is the second phase of my signature project presentation. I will be showing you today the effects of behavior modification strategies in the special education classroom. It was my topic, and the problem that I chose to identify and research in the special needs education classroom setting, addressing behaviors such as oppositional defiant disorder and ADHD and lack of focus are very problematic issues that must be addressed. Research literature suggests that by using certain targeted interventions and strategically addressing behavior challenges, students with special needs can develop essential skills needed for them to be able to self regulate their conditions, use problem solving skills, and attain higher academic success. As a special education teacher myself, I have personally faced these challenges and continue to on a daily basis. So I know how pressing this issue is. So I began working on implementing a comprehensive behavior modification plan using these strategies to help alleviate this issue. And through this presentation, I will go through the stages of my signature project. Background investigation addressing behavior concerns. The research literature suggests that to provide targeted intervention, strategically addressing the behaviors, and therefore, if we implement these strategies, the results will be the ability for the children to learn, critical life skills such as the ability to self-regulate emotions, use problem-solving skills, and even attain higher academic success. So we first had to identify what our plan of action was going to be, identify our population, and what strategies we were going to implement and how we were going to measure those. So our proposed plan of action for implementing the behavioral modification strategies were, of course, to identify special needs students would be our population. I decided to choose 20 students. Each would be given a number to help with confidentiality and not have their name, so that we could have a good sampling of students. We figured, I figured this was the most fairest and rigorous way to research this study and get fair evidence. The proposed plan of action for implementing these strategies with my students is justified by the identified problem, which is that there is a great deal of behavioral concerns amongst students with disabilities such as ADHD and ODD. After we selected the participants, we decided that the problem of behavior management challenges is something that, professional educators such as myself are constantly dealing with. We redirect behaviors, we evaluate our measures on a constant basis and problem solve on a daily basis. The expected impact on student achievement that I was hoping to get was that I would get a lot of more improved behavior, enhanced academic performance, and better social emotional functioning skills. So then we began implementing our study. The next step in our action plan was at the implementation of these behavior modification strategies. Many of these children with special needs already come with a disadvantage of having the self-regulation and conflict resolution skills that are needed to be part of a classroom and a school environment. So some strategies that I used were a positive and encouraging learning environment. I've got signs all over the room with daily affirmations of "we can do it." Glad you're part of our class. We stress that we're a class family. We encourage each other. We teach empathy. The students are definitely given clear expectations for their classroom behavior. From the very first day of school, we establish our class rules. They are, as you can see in the pictures, they are hung on the walls for a visual that they can daily see to remind them. And then we have, I send home daily conduct charts to help monitor the behavior. Another important strategy, if not, in my opinion, the most important strategy uh, to have a well run classroom with behavior management that also leads to academic success for our students is to have a positive, collaborative relationships. Now, there are several of those. There's the teacher student one, which of course is extremely important. If we have mutual respect for each other, the sky's the limit. We trust each other. We want to do well for each other. Peer relationships, of course. Look at the collaboration in those pictures and the care and the kindness. When they have strong peer relationships, no one feels intimidated to answer. No one wants to lash out at a friend for any reason because we've learned kindness and empathy and how to have self control and self regulation. And of course, another very, very important relationship is your special education team relationship. I mean, if we don't model the collaborative, positive relationships together, then what are the children going to think, and how are we going to implement these procedures and strategies if we're not actually doing them ourselves? So this using these strategies will achieve a classroom environment, and it has that implements the tools to make sure the children know what is expected of them and how to track and assess their daily behavior and to see where things need to be changed or not by setting the clear expectations, structure and routine, and the positive relationships. These strategies have proven to be directly correlated to better behavior, which then correlates to better academic and overall success. You need to definitely take into consideration ethical considerations anytime you do a research project like this. Confidentiality, permission forms, and consent forms are extremely important. And so the first one I started off with was typing up a letter to our superintendent. It's very formal in administration, just explaining to them what we were proposing to conduct, if we had their permission, how long it would take, and what was going to be the whole process and the assessment tools, and kindly asked if they would consider. And of course they did. Then also we have to have, since these are minors, I teach kindergarten through third, and I have to have a consent form from the parents. I need to explain to the parents, which is exactly what I did, what the purpose of the study was, why was their child chosen, what will be involved in participating, what are the risks and the benefits associated with it, will it be published, which it will not. I just was kept it for my research, and then if they want more information, they can contact myself or administration, and then their authorization form to sign for consent. How did the data and the action plan outcome connect to student achievement? As you can see, we were aiming for having behavior management, which would lead to high quality instruction, and that good behavior would lead to higher academic success as well. And as we charted all the information we found, it absolutely did. If the children are having below average school performance before we implemented all of these strategies, the percentage went extremely up. Also, there are fewer office referrals or suspensions than before. Difficulty making and keeping friends, all of that, it shows on this data chart that it increased. It was lower before and it increased based on these strategies. So I intended from the very beginning of this study to show the correlation between having a comprehensive behavior modification approach, where I set clear expectations, positive relationships between teacher and students, and of course the special education team, and then of course with their peers, and a positive learning environment using consistent behavior specific praise and an action plan with the conduct charts. Consistency and routine had a significant improvement in my students' behavior. Their engagement in the lessons was improved. They gained better social skills and overall achievement, which, of course, as an educator, I am thrilled about. And lastly, the reflection. If I could go back and add anything more to the study, it would be that more family and community involvement in the education of our children can have an incredible impact on how our children are able to behave themselves and be more positive and be more encouraged to want to achieve and do their best in school. We had a family math night back in the spring, and then we also had our literacy night, of course, around Christmas time. As you can see, we used a book that says, I will try again. It was a very positive and encouraging book that special education classes did. And having the families there together and everything and being involved, you can tell, made the children more, very just devoted to their school and everything. And so they wanted to behave better. They wanted to achieve better grades. And also, this is a visual, and I do use visuals as I spoke about, but this is a one that also behavioral specialist helped me create as well. And this absolutely helped with one of my students who was extremely struggling with their behavior. So more visuals like that I'd like to incorporate next time. Thank you for your time, Dr. Dunbar.